Alright everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to it if you've been here, or if you haven't, thank you for watching. Sorry if it's a little bit loud in this video. I'm sitting next to the window because it's late in the day. And I kind of had this idea for this video last minute. Really quick before we get started, I wanted to say thank you to my friend Nate and Felicia, and basically Connor, everybody who told me, hey, check out the Canon M50. This is the first video I am shooting fully on the M50, and so far I really like it. I ended up shooting some hyperlapses at Belle Isle the other day with it, and I will pop those up somewhere here. And I was really shocked by how crisp it is, so I'm going to keep using that. This is going to be probably my go-to video camera now, so I'm pretty hyped. Hopefully the quality is better. Connor is taking his microphone back, however, so I will have to get a new one, sadly. But anyway, let's jump into the video. For today, I do want to talk about how you can light a portrait scene for fairly cheap. I actually don't have any really professional studio lights, but I do have some lights that I can use, and I do have some lights that I recently purchased that I do want to try. My goal for tonight is to basically set up a lighting scenario for under $100. So I'm going to go through and just kind of check out the lighting equipment I have to my disposal, and then I'm going to start setting up for my scene. So the first light I have is the Diva ring light. I'm pretty sure everybody's pretty familiar with them. Basically just a big ring with a fluorescent bulb inside that gives off a ton of light. So I did say I wanted to try to keep the lighting equipment cost under $100, so this will be my last resort. So these Cowboy Studio lights I actually bought from a friend. I will try to find them online and post the actual price of them. But I actually got these lights and my studio stands from him for $30 each. So let's just go ahead and open these up. So this is what the lights look like. I have 3 of them. I only have 2 of the diffusion umbrellas though. So I usually only use 2 of the lights. They're pretty, I mean, they're just basic wash lights is what I would call them. They're not strobes or anything. Yeah, just again have just a simple light bulb in there. We put the umbrella right in there. And then it just offers a nice kind of soft diffuse light. Like I said, I might have to use the ring light because these actually don't give off a ton of light. So I'm actually pretty hyped to try these out. I can't guarantee these are gonna work, so this is gonna be kind of as much as a learning experience for me as for you guys. But my friend Ben has these things called color spikes. I'll link them below and I'll pop them up on the screen right here. And they're really convenient to have, but they're very expensive. So what I did is I went on Amazon and I ordered some mid to low grade strip LED lights that I can change the color of, and just to see if maybe I can replicate some of the same type of effects I can get with his expensive color spikes with these. And I think these are only about like $25 each, so that's definitely super cheap if they end up working at all. Okay, so to be honest with you, they feel pretty decent quality. They're made to be LED lights that are stripped like under countertops, but I mean, I do seem to have, quite a few color options, which is totally fine with me. I can totally make those work, and I bought 2 of them and they're super lightweight. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get these set up and start setting up what I think might be a good lighting scenario with some of these lights all combined together. Hoping to get it set up before sundown, and then I will start shooting when the sun is actually down. Alright, so I got my little lighting set up. I think I'm just going to use one of these lights. And so far, I mean, these kind of seem like they give off some pretty good light on like the skin, so I'm pretty excited for that. We'll see how that works. So I have everything set up here. I'm just taking actually on my phone just kind of a video of what I see right now. It's definitely a conglomerate of wires and stands and tripods and everything. I did say that this was going to be a budget light situation, not a convenient light situation. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect my phone to my arsenal and my camera and get everything set up and hopefully take some cool shots. Hopefully you can hear me over the cars all the time. Okay, so right now I can already tell that this red light is like way too hot. Let me just see what it looks like through the other camera, because I feel like this camera maybe isn't capturing what it's actually gonna look like, hopefully. Also, got a new tripod here, very hyped. It's got like a ball head, and my very heavy camera lens isn't just falling over, which I love. All right, now that I finally got the arsenal set up, here's just kind of what I see compared to kind of what looks like on there. It's kind of hard to see. All right, I'm just gonna go through, shoot some photos, adjust some of the lights, and see what I can come up with. This tripod is an absolute game changer, first of all. Just like the ability to actually control where my camera sits without it just tipping down is amazing. All right, so it's the next day. I didn't feel like setting up lights to shoot the video last night, so we're just gonna carry on to today. I have my CF card plugged into my computer, so let's just take a look at what the shots look like from last night. Don't judge me, I have a lot of photos still on this card that are not from last night. I'm really terrible at taking stuff off the cards. I always back it up, but I just never take it off the cards. Okay, so I'm just gonna select all of them. I'm just gonna preview them in preview. So my computer automatically will open up a raw file in Photoshop, so just make sure to click preview or else you're gonna be sitting there waiting for Photoshop to open however many photos you selected, and it just takes a long time. So before we pull these up, I do want to pull up the reference photo that I was referencing to get this type of light. Here it is, I found it on Pinterest. If I can find the Instagram person's name below, I will link it here. I just really like the quality of like the crispness of the photo, the texture of the skin. I like how the light's hitting the face, so I wanted to just try to recreate that type of lighting look in a very, very cheap way. So for me, my total cost, aside from obviously all of my photo gear and everything, this is just for the cost of the lights that I used. I paid $30 for the 3 wash lights that I have. I only used one of them, and I paid 22 something, roughly $23 per LED strip light thing that I have, and I have 2 of those. So for less than $100-ish, I was able to achieve this lighting. But even so, I think that's a pretty good deal. A lot of LED lights, or most photography lights, and even that ring light I have is over $100. Like I said, I don't know how much those wash lights cost brand new. I was lucky to get them from my friend. So again, here's the reference photo, and let's see what ours look like. Okay, so this is our first test shot. This is just kind of what I wanted to use to see what it looked like at all in camera. Looking at it with my eyes, I thought, okay, this might look comically very bad and cheap. But for the first test shot, I was actually pretty pleased. I thought this was pretty good. I did some adjusting. I did move around the lights. My camera did die last night in the middle of me shooting, but I think I do have footage of me rearranging and just kind of moving things around a little bit. And then I settled on a little bit less of a harsh green on the top. So I just raised that LED light, this one. I just raised that one up so that way it was a little bit more above me rather than like in line with my head. And I actually lowered the brightness and the height of where the red one was as well, because I wanted those lights to hit my face a little bit softer. You can see the difference between the first one and the second one. The red's always going to be a little bit more saturated. I think just the way that it hits like the skin kind of absorbs the red light, whereas the green kind of just hits it. That's the changes I made there. And let's just go through some of these. That grapefruit we went to get yesterday worked out. It's an interesting pop of color because there is really no other orange or yellowy tones in any of this because of the way the light hits the skin between the red and the green. There's really no yellow, so I'll be interested to maybe change that in post. For this video, I was only testing the red and the green because I was looking to try to get a similar effect to what I have seen in that reference photo. I will do more photos or more videos on a different color combination, but for now, I do have a couple photos I do really like that I think worked out really well. I actually like this one a lot. The red is a little bit overpowering, but I think it kind of guides the eye in an interesting way. I like the focus on these a lot. I didn't realize that the grapefruits would like break up in such like perfect little teardrop shapes, and they're very sticky, so it was very easy to stick those to my face. So for what it's worth, I honestly think that these LED lights that I use worked very, very well, given what I wanted to do. I don't think that you could use these for everything, and I don't think that they're bright enough to use. If you plan on being far away from your subject, I don't think that these have enough power to really give you what you want. But for these, or something like this in a very small, tighter studio space, these lights gave off plenty of light. You have control of quite a few colors, you have control of all the brightness and everything. They worked very well for me, so I will link them below. They're super cheap. I think I got the mediums, like the 24-inch ones. They have like a 12-inch, a 24, and then like bigger ones. I think I got the 24-inch because I thought 2 feet would probably be enough for the space that I have. Absolutely, I would say try it. You probably could do this in a cheaper way even if you wanted to, if/when things open up. Five Below sells LED tape. You can just cut LED tape and put it on, like, maybe not cut it, maybe not the Five Below LED tape, but regardless, you could stick LED tape to a small piece of wood or a branch or something and tie it up to something high and use that as the light. So to me, this is a great way to get kind of that look without having to spend a lot of money on LED lights. I would highly recommend this item. Of course, I've only used it once. I might add a disclaimer down in the description a month from now or a week from now if they happen to break really fast or something. I guess the one downfall I will say, however, that I forgot to mention is that there is no battery power for them. They do have to be plugged into a wall or something, or an actual power source of some sort. So as long as you have access to an outlet or can make access to electricity through like your car or whatever, these lights will work basically anywhere that they can reach. It's not what I always use for lighting. I will do another video because most of the time, as you can see, most of my light comes from this way. My wall has this giant window on it. And so basically all day I have pretty nice light to kind of play in my apartment all the time. I am not a lighting expert and I am not somebody that really looks into lighting. So I'm sure there's things about the photos that I took, and I'm sure there's things about possibly the things that I've said and how I arrange the lights that are technically incorrect or technically untraditional, but for me, I like how they ended up turning out. It kind of looks a little bit more like street style light rather than super beauty studio light, which I enjoy, which is also why I'm happy I didn't end up using the ring light. With all of that said, I will be actually in California next week. Well, technically, I guess it's this week since the video is probably coming out the week that I will be in California. Just spending a lot of time outdoors, away from people, shooting things I don't really have the opportunity to shoot in Detroit or around Detroit. I do want to get out to the desert, do some night photography, kind of test my hand in some of that, and just kind of enjoy being outside. As much as I want to get back to work, of course, it is going to be an interesting transition back to kind of losing all of this free time. So I just want to take advantage of my free time a little bit longer while I can, spend some time outside, sharpen my skills a little bit, hopefully learn something new for y'all. I'm recording this really fast just on my iPhone. I'm almost at the end of making this video, but I forgot to throw in at this part specifically that I did get a coronavirus test and it did come back negative. So I am not just traveling under the guise that I'm not a carrier. I did make sure to get tested, and so we're all good there. And with that, because now I'm just babbling, stay safe, protect your friends, protect yourselves, be smart, and I will see you in the next video.